with Antonio Tiberi in good form. Third man up the road is Junior Le Serre. This looks like the gruppetto. No, it's not the gruppetto. It's another attack by Harm van Hoeken. My memory serves me well. I think he was fourth one year in this race, the Belgian rider, and this is an attack by Soudal Quickstep. There goes the Welshman with Alistair McCallum.
Just in front of him, Sergio Higuita going backwards as well.
That is not very promising. This is Junior Le Serre, young rider for Soudal Quickstep. Look at that ultra small gear of the decathlon rider. We have Tiberi there as well. Eddie Dunbar up there. Harm van Hoeken still up there. And there's Remco Evenepoel in that red jersey. Looking a little bit further back to look.
Looks like he's just accelerating across as well, Remco Evenepoel.
Using this attack by Tiberi, Felix Gall and Junior Le Serre. And now the reaction has to come from Isaac Del Toro, who was a little bit further back in that peloton. And I'm also trying to locate him now. And
he's not there, is he?
And
there
now he's
he is.
At the back. It wasn't a good sign that he was all the way at the back of the peloton where we were still in the support act to this climb. And this is not a great sign for Isaac Del Toro at 5.6 kilometers from the line. It wasn't out of luxury, John, that he found himself at the back of that group to shelter from the wind. It was just not being better than he was at that time. And it shows. But of course, they have some spares at UAE with, I think Vermeerk is still up there with Adam Yates, of course.
It's interesting, though. He's going past riders. He's still going forward. He's not going backwards on the climb. He still has the energy to go round riders. So is it a question, is he being caught out? The big question, though, if Del Toro is the leader, does the team wait for him? Do they need to send riders back, or do they just leave him alone and hope he comes back to them and finds his way back? There's got to be some decisions made in that UAE Team Emirates team car now. Who do we go for, and how do we limit our losses?
For now, Felix Gall in the lead. Remco Evenepoel there trying to take stock. This is Nairo Quintana at the back. Same goes for Georg Steinhauser there in the pink. Afonso Eulalio there, the Portuguese rider. This is Byron Munton of the Modern Adventure Pro Cycling team. Also Eddie Dunbar goes overboard, the Irishman. This is for XDS Astana, Harold Martin Lopez, I assume, with Tiberi still up there.
But one thing, this climb is so difficult that everyone is just at their max. You can see Remco Evenepoel now being distanced by the three riders, but everyone, in a way, is just riding of what they've got. They can't do it. If they go over their FTP, if they go into the red, everyone knows they will just blow up and there's nowhere to recover. So now it's Remco. He settles down and uses time. Gal opens up a bit of a gap. But it's interesting to see. Has Del Toro tried to pace the early section of this climb? The steepest sections came at the bottom. Has he just used his time, paced it, and will he come back?
Look at how small that group has become right now, with Felix Gall in the lead. We have Antonio Tiberi up there. We have Lopez up there. Ben O'Connor, I think, for Checo. Hard to spot from a helicopter shot. Taking stock here at the back of the bunch with Jürgen Nordhagen here with 166. Derek G. West is also there. These are the riders that are getting dropped. We have one teammate there with Kevin Vermeerk staying with Del Toro. He has a good pace. He has a good cadence.
To be honest, he looked really relaxed then. He was able to have a conversation. So, yeah, maybe he was just a bit out of position. And once you're out of position on this climb, how steep it is, you can't make a big acceleration and move round. So you're where you are, but he's still going forward. So still 4.8 kilometers left.
12% average.
Look at the pain on Gal's face.
I think it's a very good point you make there, John, that we still have almost 5 kilometers of climbing with an average grade of 12-13%. And every effort that you do right now, you could pay for it later. And it's all about pacing yourself. It's Luke Plapp, by the way. Great ride there by Plappy.
Yeah,
you could really, you could really pay for it later because this is such a grueling climb. And I said before that I thought this climb might be a little bit too hard for Luke Plapp, but remember, he's only 26 seconds down on Remco Evenepoel in GC. Out of the GC guys, he's the best position guy, even better than Tiberi or Del Toro.
So this is the next chance. So at the moment, Adam Yates on the right-hand side, and then that's Del Toro back in that leading group. Maybe he was out of position, maybe he was just caught out, but he was looking comfortable and controlled. Just needed a bottle. We'll get a answer now of who the leader is. If Adam gives his bottle away, then we know Del Toro's got the legs and he's going for victory.
It's a very unforgiving climb, like you said, and every effort that you do quite early on, you could pay dearly for that. 4.3 kilometers to go with Tiberi. 30 seconds down on GC. We already saw that effort from Remco Evenepoel quite early on, trying to bridge across to the leaders. Follow it in purple is Plapp, and in the turquoise blue, it is Harold Martin Lopez, and we still have Felix Gall at the front. That is the situation at the moment, and then a group with the likes of Adam Yates, Isaac Del Toro and Remco Evenepoel about 20-ish seconds back.
Tiberi accelerated across. Now he makes contact, but he just dragged riders behind. Luke Plapp looking very good. Jaco Alula starting the season in really good form, actually. We saw them in Down Under with some options, and now behind two Tudor riders in that gap. And
look
now
what's happening.
Adam Yates moves his way to the front. Del Toro's ready to go, and still 4 kilometers left to go. Yeah, still plenty of racing to be done on stage 3 of UAE Tour.
I'm looking for Remco. There he is, a little bit further back in the group, also slightly out of position, without any teammates as far as I can see. Derek G. West also still in this group, the Canadian. This is Jordi van der Lee. We have Eddie Dunbar there. We have Byron Munton, the 2 riders for Tudor, with Michael Storer, and I assume the other rider must be Mathis Rondel. Look at that. That is fun.
That is speechless, actually. That's amazing. I think I'd love to go down it. It doesn't look so fun going up.
Not at all. And we all know that usually in the corners on the inside, it's the steepest part. Whoa. Remco Evenepoel losing touch with that chasing group right now. Ooh, he might have cramps there, John.
Yeah, it looks like it. That acceleration, didn't he? He made an acceleration to go across to Felix Gall, and this is exactly what we were talking about. It was so steep, this climb. You can't afford to put yourself in the red at all because there's no time or space to recover.
He's paying for it.
He just started paying. He just needs to pace his effort on the climb. He just has to ride within himself, try not to go too deep, but you can see the pain there. If you're grabbing your leg a couple times like that, there's definitely some cramp and some soreness.
And we talked about heat adaptation training and hydration. And of course, a lack of fluids could cause cramps like this on such a steep climb that we're looking at the moment. Hopefully, you can still recover from it and not lose too much time. But as GPS is correct, the time between Del Toro and this group, with also Ilan van Wilder in it, is now already 20 seconds.
Look at the little gaps as well that Adam Yates is creating. We saw Adam Yates do a huge effort in Tour Down Under. and he just completely destroyed the field on stage 3, and it seems like he's doing the same again here at UAE Tour. Del Toro,
with Jay Vine was that stage.
Jay Vine and which was just Adam Yates' show, and he does it again and again, doesn't he? Worth his weight in gold as part of that team. I wouldn't say he goes undervalued. He definitely gets acknowledgement for the hard work he does, but again, you can just see how good he's able to do this job. He just stepped things up. Del Toro joins, and look at the riders, the quality of the riders that just are dispatched from Adam Yates' wheel.
Tiberi is our leader at the moment, and this is the chasing group with Adam Yates there, Ilan van Wilder, Lennart van Eetveld, Derek G. West, Byron Munson getting dropped right now for the Modern Adventure team. Storer is there, Rondel, Holland Johannessen, Isaac Del Toro, and Jürgen Nordhagen, I assume.
Yeah, it looks like Nordhagen, a little bit smaller than Tullet, so it would be. Yeah, I'd expect it to be Nordhagen on this climate in that group at the moment.
And this is the group with Remco Evenepoel here in last wheel with Afonso Elalio. Oof, yeah, this is how Remco has to do these kind of climbs. He doesn't have, well, he has the acceleration, of course he does, but we know from Grand Tours that he's ridden that he likes a steady pace and keep the damage as small as possible. But the GPS, John, is already indicating more than 30 seconds. That is to the chasing group with Luke Plapp and Lopez and Felix Gall. So not to this group.
I think it actually might be to that group. 30 seconds already. It opens up so quick on these climbs. I think as soon as you start going backwards, you lose a couple K an hour, bang, the gap is open.
The situation at 3 kilometers to go. We have one leader. His name is Antonio Tiberi. Then we have 3 riders in pursuit with Luke Plapp, with Felix Gall and Harold Tejada, apparently. I thought it was Lopez. Then we have that group with Isaac Del Toro, with Adam Yates, the 2 UAE riders. Ilan van Wilder is up there, former winner Lennart van Eetveld. We have Derek G. West, and we thought it was Jürgen Nordhagen there, the Norwegian rider. We have to get a little bit closer. And then Remco Evenepoel. Look, yeah, it's going fast, just like you said, John. That gap is going up really, really fast right now.
Yeah, and out front as well. Think of Tiberi. Tiberi came in only 30 seconds down on GC. So is he making a big move? We've been talking about Del Toro, but Tiberi is just riding away. The gap is opening, and the gap to the chasing group, and we talked about how good Adam Yates is, the gap to Adam Yates is actually growing as well. So now up to 41 seconds. Tiberi looking in complete control, trying to look for his 3rd professional win. Be a nice one to add on a climb like this, wasn't it?
Most definitely. Chasing group with Gall, Plapp and Harold Tejada. And here is Isaac Del Toro on a mission. Adam Yates has done his job. He goes off the back now with Michael Storer. Lennart van Eetveld follows. Tries to follow. Good ride here by Lennart van Eetveld. But Isaac Del Toro looks like a man on a mission there. Look at the focus in that gaze up front. Ready to bridge across to Antonio Tiberi. There's only 2 seconds between them in GC. Between Isaac Del Toro and Antonio Tiberi. Lennart van Eetveld is 30 seconds back and 32 seconds back on Tiberi. So that gap is a little bit bigger. But it's a really solid effort here by the Belgian, whose season was really hampered by bad luck last year, by the way. So I think he deserves a good one. But Isaac Del Toro, wow, that is some comeback right now.
Yeah, maybe the smartest rider of the day. We have to take your hat off. A bit further back, hasn't made a big acceleration, and just behind that now, Plapp is caught by Del Toro. Still this chasing group, still around 27, 28 seconds from Tiberi out front to the Mexican champ, who's starting to wind things up with near enough 2 kilometers to go.
pushing quite a big gear, especially if you compare it to the cadence there of Lennart van Eetveld, meaning that he has got the absolute power. Nobody knows this climb. This is absolutely unprecedented. We've never done it in a race before, but we do know that quite possibly the UAE Tour riders have done it before. Not Del Toro, he was back in Mexico preparing for the season, but of course you get a little bit of insight from your teammates about how to pace this effort. And so far, John, with 2 kilometers to go, he seems to have the pacing plan of this climb, well, spot on.
Yeah, he opened that gap up, and to be honest, if you've got the legs to do this effort, it's all about being able to do it in Tiberi. Maybe this is the difference. We talked about Del Toro maybe being a little bit out of position. Tiberi's taken advantage of that, opened up the gap, and will Del Toro have the legs to really close it down? These are big efforts now. Still 1.9 kilometers to go. Climb already 24 minutes in. It's a big effort to make an acceleration now. Del Toro completely focused, isn't he? You see the rider take their glasses off and you see the frown on their face. It's not a frown of pain though, is it? It's just a complete concentration.
Situation with 1.8 kilometers to go in a really small downhill sector here to get the pressure off the legs. Antonio Tiberi, the 24-year-old rider for Bahrain Victorious, he is the leader. Then we have a group with Felix Gall, Lennart van Eetveld, Luc Plapp, Isaac Del Toro and Harold Tejada. And a little bit further back is Ilan van Wilder of the Soudal Quick-Step team. Derek G. West is there as well. Gap at the moment, 33 seconds as Lennart van Eetveld tries to increase the pace a little bit. That group behind, that group with I think it's Nordhagen, could be Tulip. Don't think it's the shoulders of Tulip, but I have to look a little bit closer to that. And we also have Tobias Halland Johannessen, of course, the Norwegian rider who did so well in the Tour de France last year. They might be coming back. Plapp is still in between in the purple of Jayco.
Yeah, I think
but 32 seconds is a pretty decent gap, John, for Tiberi. He's not really losing any ground at the moment.
No, Del Toro took a big look behind, didn't he, to see what the situation was behind, who was chasing. And he just puts it in a big old gear. Gall slowly distance as well, but this is just, yeah, bodies everywhere. Everything you got left, and he's just started to accelerate from that big gear, and the gap just started to open. Still 30 seconds for this man, Tiberi, looking for his 3rd professional win, and it was right. Del Toro now accelerates. He's on a mission, 1.3 kilometers. Can he catch Tiberi? That is the big question.
I think he can. He really, really paced this grueling climb to perfection. An absolute look of focus there on his face right now. Tiberi is still leading, started the season on a high with a 3rd place, already racing back on the 23rd of January. 4th place in Valencia last week. 3rd on the opening stage, picking up some bonus seconds, and a good time trial for Tiberi. But this is fantastic to look at. This young man, remember, he is only 22. He's an absolute phenomenon. This Isaac Del Toro, and the gap, he quickly closed it by 10 seconds right now on Tiberi.
Still 1 kilometers to go, still 20 seconds. The question is, if you get there, do you have the legs to go again? You have to make a big effort to close this, so still up in the air.
With a kilometer to go, it feels like Antonio Tiberi has the upper, Isaac Del Toro has the upper hand on Antonio Tiberi right now. But as you said, John, this is such an unforgiving climb that he might also pay for this effort that he's doing right now. But so far, this man has ridden this climb to perfection.
He has. He paced it definitely early on, but 1 kilometer to go. It's still this man, the Italian Tiberi. You have to say, hats off. He's almost done the whole effort on his own as well. With 1 or 2 Gall, he's used Plapp a little bit. But Del Toro, led by Adam Yates, and a big breath there. 15 seconds, still the gap.
Ay, ay, ay. Final kilometre now for Isaac Del Toro. Antonio Tiberi still a 16-second margin. They're 2 seconds apart in GC. So we have got those bonus seconds on the top of the climb at the finish line, 10, 6 and 4. So it looks like a two-man race at the moment. Remco Evenepoel is already at 1:42 from Antonio Tiberi. So almost 1:30 on Del Toro. You can almost smell the finish line right now, Antonio Tiberi, on a much smaller gear than Isaac Del Toro is. Also looking very focused, controlling his breathing there. Isaac Del Toro has got him in sight, but of course we all know, John, that this distance on a 13% climb, might be deceiving us a little bit.
Yeah, of course, Del Toro has that carrot. He has the rider he needs to chase. Tiberi is riding really well. He hasn't looked back once. I think he just needs to get into his effort and do everything he can to the line. He knows where the finish is, and now he takes a look back and sees Del Toro.
John said, don't look.
He didn't need to, but 500 meters to go, still 18 seconds. It's everything to the line, and Tiberi knows that. It's just that, has Del Toro got that carrot, that big chase? You can see Tiberi ahead.
And it's about a 75-meter gap between these two riders. Tiberi has done this climb at a steady pace, while Del Toro really had to do that increase in tempo to really create this attack. He closed the gap to about 15 seconds, and now it kind of stalled at that point. While the road is running out, he can still see the man in front of him, Antonio Tiberi, two young guys, 24-year-old Italian, 22-year-old Mexican. It's all coming down to the line right now, with Tiberi glancing over his shoulder, 300 meters to go. And yeah, like you said, John, he's got that carrot. Isaac Del Toro's got that carrot in front of him. But Antonio Tiberi, I'm confusing all the names here. Antonio Tiberi still has got the upper hand. He can almost see the finish line right now. If he wins the stage, he's also got the red jersey. There's only a 2-second gap between the two riders on GC, and we've got those bonus seconds. He has almost reached the finish line with a courageous solo attack, and the win on the stage. Antonio Tiberi wins stage 3 and is also the new leader in the UAE Tour. But this is far from over, because on Saturday we climb again. What a ride by Isaac Del Toro as well. But as you predicted, he didn't really close the gap altogether, because he paid a little bit in the end for that effort. Fantastic ride as well by Lennart van Eetveld, former winner of this race. Lost quite a lot of time in the time trial yesterday, but really showing some good form on this really, really hard climb. But today's winner, Antonio Tiberi, well done, young man.
Yeah, what a ride from Tiberi. It's his first ever World Tour win, and the celebrations from the team at the side. Matt, the team doctor, first there with Tiberi. But what a ride. We talked about how they built that. Del Toro made the big effort at the end of the climb.
Yes,
but Tiberi did it, and G with the lunge to take what would be 4th place.
Ilan van Wilde, Luke Plapp, Stora. But the gap's rather big. The first 3 manageable, but then big gaps to all over a minute. And this man, absolutely dominant in the time trial yesterday. We know that the steepest of climbs are not his forte, John. It's not what he does best, and he will learn from this experience as well. Look at that fantastic performance yet again by Byron Munton, the South African riding at a 3rd division team in Asia in the past years, picked up by the Modern Adventure Pro Cycling team, and really showing, just like in the Alula Tour, that he really deserves a chance at pro level.
What a finish.
There is Remco Evenepoel losing over 2 minutes to Tiberi and almost 2 minutes on Isaac del Toro. This is the provisional top 10. Antonio Tiberi with 15 seconds on Isaac del Toro. Lennart van Eetveld, Harold Tejada, Felix Gall, Tobias Holland-Johannessen, Derek G. West, Jürgen Nordhagen, Ilan van Wilder and Luke Plapp. That is the top 10 of the Jebel Mobrah stage of tomorrow. This is the top 10. Already mentioned Tiberi, Del Toro, Tejada, Van Eetveld, Plapp. Van Wilder now in 6th, Derek G. West, Felix Gall, Jürgen Nordhagen and Tobias Holland-Johannessen, the two Norwegians, complete the top 10.